Looking at gears, the magazine is aimed at all genders, although I think females will predominate the viewership as they are stereotypically more artistically inclined. Both males and females are included in my magazine, so my viewership will be varied because of that. Although my magazine's features predominantly white, Caucasian people because of my availability, my target audience are all ethnicities, as art and music are not subjects that are predominant in any particular ethnicity. It will also have other issues that will allow it to be more inclusive, as more artists will be featured. 15 to 30-year-olds are typically more interested in these two subjects, especially young aspiring artists. On the other hand, 40-plus-year-olds might also find my magazine interesting, retired musicians or artists, but my target audience will be young adults, so I will focus on making it appealing to them by using young artists and alternative rock music and avoiding genres like classical music. The name of my magazine is clearly directed to the contents of it and my audience focus. Muse and melody. The use of alliteration provides an audible pulse and gives more emotional impact to the text. It has an element from both the themes it includes, which is muse for the art part of the magazine and melody for the music part. This will appeal to artists since it is filled with valuable resources of information and entertainment for its readers, such as upcoming artists and exhibitions, the latest music trends, artists, and albums. The magazine encourages critical thinking, creativity, and self-expression among its readers through its articles, interviews, and reviews. The magazine also promotes diversity and inclusivity in the art and music scenes by featuring a variety of genres and artists. The magazine will start in Romania, so the region will be national, but as it gains popularity, it will expand into all of Europe and even internationally. Then I will definitely include more ethnicities, but since it is starting in Romania, where there is not a lot of cultural diversity, it does not feature a variety of ethnicities. The socioeconomic backgrounds my magazine will be aimed at are C1, C2, and DE, as the majority of the audience will be young adults, although some experienced artists who might be B might also benefit from the magazine as it meets their needs of learning about current art and music trends and keep up with new artists. Muse and melody will mostly appeal to reformers of the society, those who are willing to deepen their understanding of music and art, as well as praise their individuality and their own artistic opinions. Succeeders would also benefit from this magazine as it might help them achieve their goals in the music or art industry, as well as some mainstreamers who are looking for gaining success by discovering new trends and styles. Explorers might also be interested in this magazine as it includes new indie and undercover bands that they could discover. Muse and Melody rejects conventions as it is a magazine that features both undercover musicians and artists that are female, especially undercover. This is different from most music magazines, as it is male-dominated industry, and not a lot of female artists are shown on the front cover. I chose a female artist to appear on the front cover specifically to show recognition to all female artists who feel misrepresented in the industry, as well as making her wear a turtleneck that covers most of her skin, which is not common, as in most magazines that feature a male model, she's more than likely going to be sexualized or objectified by wearing revealing clothes. This is because I want my magazine to convey the female gaze, which is seen as more artistic, fitting in with the contents of my magazine and appealing to my target audience, who are artists and have a highly refined artistic view. I also want my magazine to aid the needs of surveillance of viewers by helping them give as much representation to female artists as they do to male ones, not only needs of personal identity. The choice of having both female and male models in my article page was to illustrate how simple it is to be more inclusive of people in the art industry and not target a specific gender in particular. Another way my magazine can be differentiated from other music and art ones is through its aesthetics, meaning the front cover color scheme and text. Unlike the Rolling Stone, which uses bold black and white and red color schemes, my magazine is made from neutral browns and soft earth tones that connote elegancy and authenticity as well as simplicity. This created iconography as these colors are often seen in my magazine and put the magazine's main focus on the contents of it rather than on striking images. These colors are also very welcoming, which will make viewers who are not mainstream be welcomed and comforted by it. The empty space around the figure on the front cover creates a sense of mystery that will intrigue viewers to continue reading the magazine. I decided to make my magazine about these two subjects, as I thought there is a gap in the market for magazines that relate to music and art and are aimed at young adults. Therefore, I think many of them would benefit from it, especially teenagers who want to expand their artistic taste and start creating their own music or art or follow new trends. I decided to include both art and music since they relate to each other and they are both artistic subjects, and one might share an interest for both. I chose to talk about new indie rock teenage band in my article as it fits with my magazine's target audience, as well as including teen bands as it shows new upcoming artists and the potential they reached at such a young age. This can give a lot of hope and motivate other young artists into working hard to achieve their dreams. It can provide useful information for them on how to become as successful as the articles share tips. It aids this since they are finding out about relevant events and seeking advice, but it can also aid their personal identity need as they're finding models of behavior as they're identifying with celebrities as well as finding reinforcement for personal values and interests. Interrogation and social interaction needs are also met in my magazine, according to Dennis McQuail, as the audience can identify with the other artists, which can give them a sense of belonging as well as gaining insight into the circumstances of others. The representation in my magazine is varied in terms of gender, but not in terms of ethnicity. This is because of the availability of the models, but also because it will be published in Romania, which does not have a lot of different ethnicities. Therefore, I consider it appropriate for the region, although if the magazine expands, I will include a wider variety of them. The contents of the magazine are also kid-friendly, although it is not the target market. There is not a variety of bright-colored images, but instead a more mature, vintage, and elegant look to show it is aimed at young adults, as some images are black and white and some feature a soft red that is often associated with rock music and is eye-catching. It is not a problem if the market is younger than planned, as there is no explicit language or images, as a younger audience could benefit from the magazine as well. The front cover rejects conventions, as it is a full shot of a keyboardist of the band featured in the article of the magazine. She is a girl and not the lead vocalist, which is a male. This rejects conventions, as the lead vocalist is usually the most recognized and famous member of the band, and female artists are usually underrepresented in terms of their talent and work, as well as objectified in this industry. I chose her for the front cover as a way of making female artists feel more represented, which will cause a dominant reading for them and people who want to see more female artists represented in this industry for their hard work and not their beauty, but might cause an oppositional reading for men and for those who are used to traditional conventions of this industry. This might make some people not buy the product because they don't agree with the views of it, but it will appeal more with my target audience, and this can be used as a way of personal identity as teenagers form social connections with like-minded people through media and shared interests. Part of the reason I made the choice of having more vintage, simple, and retro style for the magazine was because of the advice that I received from my classmates who answered the questionnaire I gave out and preferred this style. I think it fits in with the magazine's target audience, as a lot of young adults are adopting the 90s style that is in trend, and this style is also heavily associated with rock music. The cover of the magazine is more elegant than the contents page, or article, as I wanted the magazine to appeal to a wider audience who might not associate with the retro aesthetic of 90s rock bands, but I also kept some elements of that style for the rest of the magazine to satisfy both groups, such as the soft red light in the article, heavy makeup, and black clothing.